Welcome to the Taryn Reeves Show, where your journey to empowerment takes center stage. I'm your host, Taryn Reeves, a best-selling author and publishing expert. Together, we'll dive into the hearts and minds of visionaries, disruptors, and trailblazing leaders to explore the most compelling and thought-provoking ideas in life, business, and marketing. Let's inspire, impact, and ignite. This is the Taryn Reeves Show. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Taryn Reeves Show. Today, I am joined by the beautiful Amy McNally, all the way from Hawaii. Hello, Amy. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to dive into today.
Yes, it's always such a joy to spend time with you. Now, Amy is the founder of Leadership Coaching in Women Creating Wealth, which is an online community for businesswomen. She works with high-level female entrepreneurs to help them increase their income while reducing stress, burnout, and anxiety. With her extensive experience in therapy, Amy specializes in helping women process and release negative emotions by guiding them through emotional freedom technique, also known as tapping. This allows women to move through past traumas and deeply rooted beliefs so that they can finally conquer money mindset blocks and create an abundance of wealth. Amy offers online coaching, which includes private one-on-one, group programs, self-study courses, retreats, as well as valuable free resources in her online community. Like I said, she resides in Hawaii with her husband, Jordan. And when she's not working, you can find her on her farm, picking fruit, planting flowers, or spending time with her chihuahua, Dobie. Such a beautiful introduction, Amy. Now, you recently wrote with me in the international bestseller called Corporate Dropouts. I'd love it if you can give those who are listening or watching us today a sneak peek of what your chapter was about.
Absolutely. So I focused on my journey of working in a more traditional, not even quite a 9-to-5, but I was working as a marriage and family therapist. And so I shared my journey in the chapter of what that was like, and also me transitioning into leaving that career in order to pursue and grow my own coaching business.
So juicy. The stories in that book are so amazing. Now, I'm wondering, can you tell me a bit about what it was like working as a therapist?
Yes. So to be really honest, it was super draining. That's like the first thing that's coming to my mind. And simply because I'm such an empath and I'm somebody who really take on other people's emotions and their feelings. So a lot of the work that I was doing in particular, and again, not all therapy is like this, but I was working with a lot of heavy trauma cases. Yeah. So a lot of them were court ordered. I had to go to court several times on behalf of clients. Sometimes my decision helped determine whether or not someone got their kids back. It was really, really heavy stuff. There was death, there was suicide. I think I had a different vision of what being a therapist was going to be, and that wasn't it. It was so draining. I was coming from such a good place. Like, I had such a big heart and I genuinely wanted to help these people, but it was a lot. It ended up affecting me negatively. I knew that I couldn't maintain that indefinitely. It was just like slowly eating at me, slowly wearing at me. And if that wasn't bad enough, like, there's so much paperwork. It's unbelievable. It is not a glamorous field at all. That was a little bit of my experiences working with a therapist.
Yeah. And what do you think, being in that sort of environment, I'm sure you learned a lot about people, a lot about society, a lot about yourself. Can you tell me what was your biggest learning from your time in that industry?
For me, what I learned was really being able to tune into my own feelings. And so learning how to differentiate between what's mine and what's other people's. And then from there, really discerning, like, is this best for me, right? Because I was trying to cover up. I'm not feeling good because, like, that session was so heavy. So really being able to separate my feelings with their feelings and being able to say, like, okay, this isn't making me happy. Like, it has nothing to do with the session I just had. I'm not happy doing this.
Yeah. So really taking a look at your personal wants, needs, desires, and coming to terms with the fact that the vision you had thought was therapy or being a therapist was not actually true. That must have been hard.
It was so hard. I had an identity crisis, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do, to be honest. And it was like, once I made that realization that, okay, I can't keep doing this. This isn't sustainable for me. And I think another really important thing was I started to dread going to work, and it progressively got worse. So that was something else that was such a huge eye opener for me, is like, if you are dreading going to your job every single day, like that's probably a good indicator that something's not right. Like something needs to shift. And so that was another learning piece in there. I was like, if I'm not a therapist, what am I supposed to do? Like I just spent the last 7 years in college. I got my bachelor's degree in psychology, and then I had a 3 years master program. And it was like, now what? Like I just spent almost a decade in order to be a therapist. And now I'm realizing that I don't want to take this path anymore. Like I didn't know what I was supposed to do from there.
Yeah, total identity crisis. I can definitely relate to that. Now, if somebody is listening and they're in a similar situation to what you were in, and we all know hindsight is a wonderful thing, what would you say to that person who's gone through uni to get a degree, not necessarily therapy, and is now having this identity crisis and is like, what do I do? What is a practical next step, or maybe a self-care step, something like that, that you can give that person to help move them forward from where they currently are?
I love this question so much. And I get this a lot, right? I attract women to me that are in a similar situation. And honestly, what I tell my people is tune into your passions. Like tune into what are you naturally drawn to outside of your career? Because there's something that I like to say is that you can turn your passion into profits. So for me, this was my first step into becoming an entrepreneur and forging that new pathway. But in order to even start, it was literally looking at, what am I naturally drawn to? What am I doing outside of my work? What's making up my day-to-day routine? And so that's what I would share with you and anyone that's listening, because that can really be such a profitable and enjoyable guidance system for us.
Yes. And the key word there is joy as well. Enjoyable experience. As far as we know, we only get one chance at life. Don't spend it being miserable. There are other choices. Is it hard? Absolutely. Anyone who is an entrepreneur or starting their own thing or even changing careers, not everyone's born to be an entrepreneur, and that's okay too. Even changing careers, all of that takes courage. And there will be some days where you're just like, this is hard. I want to throw in the towel, wave the white flag. I give up. But it's in finding the courage to get up and go again and find that thing that's going to work for you, because living a joyful life is so, so worth it. There's nothing like it.
All the hard days, all the times you want to stop or give up. Like I would take all of those a million times over to have the life and freedom and happiness that I do being an entrepreneur.
Most of the time, right? Some days it's still like, what's going on? Why am I doing this? And I think that's normal. Now, you use a lot of EFT, emotional freedom technique, tapping. You are the tapping queen. Tell me a bit about this modality, because I know that it's very mainstream in spiritual communities and spiritual circles, but maybe people who don't hang out in those groups as much or at all don't know about this amazing thing. And to be honest, it does look a bit weird. When I first started tapping, I was like, oh my gosh, I look like a complete Fruit Loop. What's going on? Tell me more.
Yes, I love this. I could talk about tapping all day long. So the beautiful thing is that, yes, it tends to run in more spiritual communities, but I will say this, I was using it in my career as a marriage and family therapist because it's been clinically proven to help with things with anxiety and trauma. While yes, it's in more of the spiritual communities, there's such a strong need for it just across the board. So I first want to say that. So what the heck is it? Because I get that all the time. Like, what are we talking in a foreign language here? Like, what is this EFT thing that you're always talking about?
Yeah.
So as you mentioned, it stands for emotional freedom technique. And just sink into those words for a minute. Like emotional freedom. It's so powerful in itself. A lot of people refer to it as tapping or EFT. So if you're listening to this and you've heard any of those variations, it's all the same thing. Essentially what it does, it's really complex, but I'm going to try to simplify it here for us today. It is a energy technique that allows us to access the energy points within our body. Okay. And so I know even that is like, I really don't know what she's saying. Just stick with me here for a minute. So if you've ever heard of acupuncture, which a lot of people have, right? Even if they've never gotten it themselves, they've at least heard of it. And so what acupuncture is doing is it's placing needles in very specific parts of our body to open up the body's energy system, to allow the energy to flow more freely, right? To help any blockages that are there. And so EFT actually stimulates the same thing, but we're using our hands, we're using our fingertips. And so we are lightly tapping, that's where the nickname comes in, on our upper body's energy access points. That's what we're doing, but it goes so much deeper than that. And I haven't dug into acupuncture a ton to know like its clinical studies and benefits, but I know EFT like the back of my hand. And so that I've dove into so many of the studies and the benefits of it. I think my favorite thing about it is it sends calming signals to your brain. Mm-hmm. So if you're ever in a situation where you're stressed or you're panicking or you're just feeling any sort of lower vibration emotions, right? It could be anger, it could be jealousy, it could be frustration, it could be fear, anything like that. What's happening, it's going to activate our stress response system. And tapping within seconds, within minutes, tells the body it's safe. It tells the body that it's safe to calm so that it no longer has to have the stress response activated.
Okay, fabulous. What a useful technique. And it can be done really quickly. I'm going to put you on the spot now and ask you, is there a sequence, if you like, a tapping sequence that people can use on a daily basis? Like, for example, when they wake up to set themselves up for the day or to wind down for the evening. Is there such a thing?
Absolutely. So another thing with EFT is you can use it to your advantage. So it can be used to process any heavy feelings that we're feeling in the moment, but it can also be used to bring forth and instill what we do want. Actually, there's one that I've been doing recently. I created it. So I tap along with my own tapping meditations and sequences, and it's on activating confidence. So it's literally, if you want to wake up and have an amazing day, something super simple that you could do is just like, today's going to be an amazing day. We were tapping through the points. Today's going to be an amazing day.
Can we do it? Can we do it together? Should we walk?
Yes.
If you are listening to this and driving, please do not do this and follow along with us. Come back to it later. We are doing a video version as well, which you can find on my YouTube. So if you need to see what we're actually doing with our hands, we get to do a little tapping sequence with the tapping queen right here on Confidence. So take it away, Amy.
Awesome. Let's go. Okay. So we begin on our eyebrow point. And it doesn't matter which side, you can do either side. So coming back to the eyebrow, let's say, today is going to be an amazing day.
Today is going to be an amazing day.
Side of the eye, I'm open to all the possibilities that are coming to me.
I am open to all the possibilities that are coming to me.
Under the eye, I'm allowing myself to receive miracles.
I'm allowing myself to receive miracles.
Under the nose, I'm so excited to see what's going to show up.
I'm so excited to see what is going to show up.
Chin point, I am worthy and deserving of this.
I am worthy and deserving of this.
Collarbone point, I'm excited to see what shows up for me today.
I'm excited to see what shows up for me today.
Under the arm, today is an amazing day.
Today is an amazing day.
Top of the head, and I am an amazing woman.
And I am an amazing woman.
Beautiful. You just did a round of tapping.
So easy and so powerful. I'm so going to do that every day for, I don't know, the next how long, I'm sure forever, probably. What an amazing way to start your day. Is there some way somebody could download your version of that, your meditation or whatever it is?
Absolutely. So actually, to tie in corporate dropouts to this, it's totally aligned because all of my audience who purchased corporate dropouts, I actually gifted them my Activate Your Confidence EFT tapping meditation. So I'm happy to extend that to your audience as well if they want to
Thank you
download it.
so much. Beautiful. Well, we will include the link for that in the show notes so that you can go and get your hands on that. Obviously, you can use the video that we've just done here. Thank you so much. Amy, tell me a bit more about your business because EFT is the foundation of your business, but it's so much more than that. Can you share a bit more?
Yes, thank you. EFT is definitely the foundation. Women come to me when they want to increase their income in their business. So they come to me and I actually have my own proven method that I take them through and I see what step they're on, where they're at, where the missing gaps are. So the things that I really help them with are first and foremost strategy. So as much as I'm into the feminine energy and the tapping and the energetics, like at the end of the day, like you don't have a business unless you've got offers to sell, unless you've got things in place in order to receive payments, like the structure and the strategies.
It's such a beautiful balance between the masculine and the feminine energies of business, if you like. You've got to do the work.
Absolutely. I'm seeing a big divide, and maybe you're noticing this too in the online world and in the coaching world. It's like people are just focusing on the strategy, and that feels like constrictive, or they're just focusing on the spiritual stuff and the energetic. So what I think is so unique and amazing about my business is that I really blend the two. And it's something that I embody personally. So I'm somebody who has the strategy and the structures in place, but I'm also tapping into the energetics and doing my tapping and bringing in some more of the spiritual stuff. So people come to me when they want to make more money in their businesses, and then I take them through my process and see where the missing gaps are and help plug them in and get them the things that they need to have a sustainable business, because that's what it's all about. You need to have consistent income all the time, and hopefully you're continuing to profit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now, is there a particular type of woman that you like to work with? And I know that it is women, correct me if I'm wrong, but who do you love to work with?
Yes, it is women. I love to work with women who have coaching businesses or are providing a service of some kind, and they're trying to build up their business on social media. That is my favorite because I've walked that path. I have forged that. So I feel so confident and so able to guide them through that process. I've navigated it the last several years, so I can say, hey, this is what works. Let me save you some heartache here. Let's skip this. And so I feel really, really confident helping those types of women.
Amazing. And tell us, what's next for you?
Right now, I am currently in the middle of my signature manifesting program. So I'm leading women through that, which is more of like the personal energetics. And so I know we didn't even dive into that, but that's just really how do you feel on a daily basis and how are you showing up? How are you communicating? How are you leading yourself and others? So I'm currently doing that. And then after that, I'm going to be coming into my more of the business strategy program. So I will be offering consistent cash, which is where I really help you dive into the strategy piece, make sure you have offers and make sure you have a product suite and marketing, all those structures and systems parts.
Yeah.
So that's what's coming next.
I love the name of that program, Consistent Cash. How fabulous. I'm sure people are going to be filling that up like crazy. Now, I am a publisher. I am a book coach. Tell me, is there any chance of a solo book coming out for you?
I had such an amazing time with corporate dropouts, and I'm so thankful that I started that way, doing a multi-author book that, yes, I would say the door is definitely open to do a solo book someday.
How exciting. I can see several different books from you, actually, because you've got such a wide range of skills, and they're all so, so important. I think that those are going to be absolutely fabulous, and people should definitely keep their eyes peeled for that bit of the journey as it's to come. And tell us, how can people find you? if they want to come play with you?
Yeah, so I'm super active on Instagram as well as in my Facebook group. So Instagram is just Coach Amy McNally. And then my Facebook community is Women Creating Wealth, because I am here to help get money in the hands of more women so we can do fabulous things and live fabulous lives.
Yes, I love it so much. Okay, so I'm going to include all of those links in the show notes so that you can go and find Amy, get into her world, because it's amazing and so full of joy and fun. And she's just such a shining light. Now, Amy, as we've spoken about, Corporate Dropouts was the multi-author book that you wrote in with us here at 4Eagles Publishing. And that actually launched last Friday to amazing success. 35 #1 best-selling categories internationally, as well as a range of other bestsellers numbers on there as well. The book is selling like hotcakes. If you guys have not got your copy of Corporate Dropouts yet and you want to hear amazing stories from such people as Amy, and I even wrote a chapter in that book as well, head on over to Amazon or my website, 4eaglespublishing.com. Grab yourself a copy. Share it with your friends, because it is full of amazing women and inspiration, whether you want to leave corporate or not. It's just about finding the courage to change direction. If you like, it's definitely not a book about bashing corporate and that corporate is a terrible black hole of despair. That is not true. Some people were made to be in corporate and some people weren't, and either way is absolutely okay. That book is full of inspiration for absolutely anyone who's looking to make a change and find the courage to do so. So go and get your copy of Corporate Dropouts. And if you ever want to or have dreamt of becoming an author, writing a solo book, or even starting out like Amy did on her writing journey, to come into a multi-author book project is a beautiful way to start. Come and play with us at 4eaglespublishing.com. It is such a beautiful family and nurturing experience that I would love to work with you on your amazing book. Amy, thank you so much for joining me here today. It's been such a pleasure speaking to you and learning more about EFT and going through that amazing tapping sequence. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And I'm happy to include that one. And I just want to say the one that I'm going to include, it's multiple rounds. So like we just did one super quick round. Yeah. The meditation that I'm going to provide, it's several rounds and it's got some nice music to it. So it's like a whole experience. So I'm really excited for your people to dive into that and enjoy it. I just want to say thank you for having me. And if anybody is on the fence about doing a book, I knew nothing. It was my absolute first time. Taryn makes it so easy, so digestible. I cannot recommend her enough. And I will absolutely be back, whether it's for solo or more co-authored or both. Who knows?
Maybe. I very much look forward to that. Thank you so much. I'll be speaking to you again soon, I'm sure. That's a wrap on today's episode. If you love the insights and inspiration, don't let it end here. Hit subscribe to stay connected and turn your visions into reality alongside our community of changemakers. I'm Taryn Reeves. Thank you for joining me. And remember, your story has power. See you in the next episode.